My name is Zan Ta, and I'm with Repro Products in Smyrna, Georgia. Today's video will be a fairly extensive video on how to install Building Design Suite 2016 on a brand new Windows 10 Professional Operating System laptop. The laptop is a Dell XPS 15. The specs are i7-6700HQ with a 2.6 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA Quadro GeForce 960M 2GB graphics card. Before we do the installation of Building Design Suite Ultimate 2016, we want to make sure we have a few things taken care of. The first is downloading the software. You may download the software through your Autodesk Accounts site or through upandready.typepad.com. When you have it downloaded and you extract the information, it will automatically place it in the C folder, Autodesk, and then the actual particular folder, Building Design Suite Ultimate. The setup.exe file should run automatically, and it should show you this display here. Before you start the install, a couple of things to also make sure you do. Turn off any antivirus or anti-spyware, malware software that you have. And because we are working with Windows 10 Professional or even Home Edition, one of the caveats with Autodesk software is that it uses .NET 4.5 services. Because Windows 10 is actually using 4.6, there are a lot of hiccups and anomalies that I have seen for installing the software. So a trick to trying to install the software is to head over to Control Panel, Programs and Features. Click the command for turning Windows features on or off. It'll take you to this window here called Windows Features. You'll want to go ahead and clear out this box that says .NET Framework 4.6 Advanced Services. When you do this, the Building Design Suite or Autodesk product will think that 4.6 is not installed on the system and it shouldn't give you any conflicts. You can always turn this feature back on once the installation is finished. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize some of the windows that I'll need in the future. Here we have the install. We'll go ahead and we'll click Install. Hit Accept. Hit Next. And again, here it will ask you to install whether it's standalone or network. And I'm going to put it in as standalone. And I'm also going to put it in as just a Revit installation for now, for the purposes of testing just Revit Software 2016 on the Windows 10 Professional. Now that we have the serial number and product key inserted and I've clicked Next, it takes me to the Building Design Suite Ultimate 2016 window. Here I can select what software I want to download or I want to install. For the purposes of just testing how fast or how slow this new Dell XPS 15 laptop, or whether it can handle the software or not, I'm just going to install Revit. So I'll go through the process of unchecking the components that I do not need. And the ones that I do need, I want to go ahead and click the little arrowhead here to open up and expand and verify it has the information that I need. And making sure the content library for Revit is also installed for US Imperial and Metric. You know what? Let's uncheck Metric just for the sake of this testing purposes. It's one less thing to install. Now that we have everything selected, we can go ahead and click the Install button to install the software. Also, before we click the install, one of the troubleshooting areas that I have seen that people have conflict with is the .NET 4.5. So, as it stands right now, this Windows 10 Pro laptop is fully updated with all Dell software, drivers, and updates, and also all the Windows as well. So let's see if this will install. Alright, so as you can see, the Autodesk Building Design Suite Ultimate 2016 installed Revit, the content library, the BIM 360 add-ons, and this desktop as well as the application manager. Let's go ahead and get the software Revit up and running and see how it handles with the new Dell XPS 15 laptop. One other little tidbit I forgot to mention, the hard drive that's on here is a 512 gigabyte PCIe solid state drive, and let's go ahead and see how Revit runs. So now I have Revit 2016 up and running. Let's go ahead and make sure that we can see the processes. It says Autodesk Revit. It's using 220 megs right now, 36%. Let's go ahead and open up a Revit model. The Revit model that I have is roughly 35-40 megs. We'll also go ahead and open up the resource monitor as well to kind of get an idea of how it's handling the load. Head over to 3D view. And we can see from the CPU processor level, it's not taxing it that hard. It does initially say not responding, but CPU is still at 27-28%. Memorization is at 40%. Disk usage is very low, which is expected for a solid-state drive. Now, one of the other reasons why we're testing the Revit 2016 software on this specific Dell XPS 15 laptop is because of the graphics card. The graphics card that is on here is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960M. It is a gaming laptop, it's a low-end gaming laptop, as compared to, say, the Dell XPS 15 Precision line that carries the NVIDIA Quadro M1000M card. If you take a look at the CPU benchmark website and compare the two cards, they're practically identical in performance and quality. So let's go ahead and give it a run through. And see how it handles and processes Revit. Right. And mind you, this is at fine resolution and realistic visual style. Most people will work out shaded and medium level of detail as a default. And shadows are turned on. So the realistic nature of using Revit for everyday tasks looks like this machine can handle it. Let's head over to another view, say floor plan view. See if I can dock my properties palette. And again, we will switch this to medium shade and shaded level visual style. And we'll go in here and we'll start working. All right, and then lastly is, taking a look at the kind of day-to-day work that everybody does with Revit when it comes to CD level quality. I've got a 1 of 3 dimension plan here. I've got a view that's just black and white, and it has the data that I need. And so, when you're working with Revit, we're doing things like creating objects, getting rid of objects. And it seems to be usable. I mean, it's not slow, but it's not ridiculously fast by any means. And so let's take a look at the overall objective here. Number one, the objective was to see whether we can install Building Design Suite Ultimate 2016 on a Windows 10 professional laptop. With the Microsoft 4.6.net disabled, we were able to install it without a problem. And as you can see, Revit is up and running fine. The processing of the information and the speed at which this laptop handles the Revit model is acceptable. Now, here's the caveat. We have to understand that when you're working with Autodesk products and you're wanting it to really kind of scream and move fast for you, that really is dependent upon the machine that you're buying. The specs on this laptop, like I said, is a i7 2.6 processor. It's the fastest one you can put on this laptop unless you go to the Precision line. The Precision line, you can put in the same processor. The next one up is a Xeon processor, which is 100 megahertz faster, and it's roughly $70 more. That's it. That's the only two options. It's, if you can forego saving $70, then go with the XPS. But if you need a lot more configuration capability, then you'll be going into the Precision line. Now, that being said, your graphics card choice is only the M1000M. There is no other option. And that automatically bumps up the cost to another $800. The cost on this laptop, street price, is roughly $2,100. Okay, so now you're talking anywhere from $2,800, $2,900 plus tax for a machine that is precision level to run Revit. Is it worth the extra money? Depends on how heavy you use the software. For what I use it for, teaching, demonstrations, webinars, so on and so forth, troubleshooting, this machine will do just fine. And if you look hard enough, you can get a good deal on these machines. And that's it. And then lastly, with our video and our installation of the software, don't forget to go back into the Windows features and turn back on the 4.6 advanced services. So if you have any questions about the process of installing Building Design Suite 2016 on a Windows 10 Professional, just do a search for me. There's a lot of places that I have for access. You can call our office, Repo Products, and ask for me. You can look me up under LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. And with that, thank you very much for your time, and I hope this video was helpful.